Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Theo and I love to talk about horror movies. In today's episode we're going to be going over another horror movie inspired by true events. We're going to be talking about The Exorcist in today's video, the 1973 movie that was a sensation throughout the United States. But did you know that this movie is actually inspired by true events? When adjusted to inflation of 2024, The Exorcist is the 9th highest grossing film in American history. But few people realize that Peter Blatty's novel of the same name is based on a true story. The movie is based off a 14-year-old Maryland boy who priest assigned the pseudonym name Roland Doe. We're going to break this video up into 4 parts. We're going to talk about the boy, we're going to talk about the events, we're going to talk about the exorcism, and then we're going to talk about the aftermath. I'll also be going over a few facts about the actual movie itself, as well as some cursed set productions along the way. The boy's real name was Ronald Edward Hunkler. He was raised in a Lutheran family. He began experiencing strange phenomenon after playing with a Ouija board at his aunt's house. Edwin Hunkler was born on June 1st, 1935 and passed away on May 10, 2020. After playing with a Ouija board at his aunt's house, he began to have unexplained physical injuries. He would wake up with bruises and scratches on his body, often in the shape of crosses. Some witnesses have even claimed that they've seen Edwin levitating from the ground on certain occasions. He would also have violent outbursts of which he would have sudden fits of rage and aggression, during which he would speak in a deep, grunting voice that wasn't his own. He would also utter profanity at all times and blasphemous statements about God. His family has said in interviews that objects would fly or move across the room without any explanation at all. These events led his family to seek help from the Catholic Church, and a series of exorcisms were performed by Father William Borden and other priests on the subject. After the exorcism was performed, Edwin seemed to recover and went on to live a relatively normal life. He worked for an engineer for NASA and contributed to the Apollo 11 mission. He also remained a very private individual and rarely spoke publicly about the experiences that he had with the exorcism. So let's move on and let's talk about the exorcism. The details of the exorcism are somewhat shrouded in a mystery, as many of the specific events and details were not publicly documented at the time they occurred. However, the accounts for those involved suggested that the rituals performed were intense and included prayers, scripture readings, and the administration of holy water. It's also been reported that during one exorcism, the boy physically attacked one of the priests, causing major injury. It's very important to note here that the specific details of the exorcisms performed, including the exact rituals performed during the duration of this process, remain very unclear. The events surrounding the exorcism has been a subject of speculation and debate for many years, with some attributing to the boy's experiences to psychological factors rather than a demonic possession. Now let's jump into the aftermath of Ronald Hunkler. As stated before, Ronald went on to have a full recovery and live a relatively normal life. He ended up marrying, having children, and pursuing a successful career in NASA, where he was a part of the Apollo 11 task force. Hunkler passed away in 2020, leaving behind a legacy as both a survivor of a harrowing experience and a contributor to one of humanity's greatest achievements, and also, as the some might argue, as being the inspiration for the greatest horror movie ever created. There's also a lot of speculation behind the film's production, some calling it cursed, as the production was plagued with a ton of accidents and misfortunes, leading to many believe that the production set was cursed. Several cast and crew members died or were injured during the filming of The Exorcist, and there were numerous times whenever there were equipment failures, leading to several people having lifelong injuries. For example, Jack McGowan, he was an actor who played Burke Dennings. He died from complications of the flu during the film's production. Many other crew members, including a night watchman, a newborn child of an assistant cameraman, they also died during the filming of The Exorcist. Actress Linda Blair, who was responsible for playing Regan in the Exorcist movies, also suffered a severe spinal injury due to a particular intense scene where she was whipped around the bed by a mechanical arm. Ellen Burstyn, who played Chris McNeil, also suffered from physical injuries during filming. She was pulled aggressively from a rope cord against a wall that caused her spinal injuries. And finally, there was a fire that broke out on the set, damaging the entire set production outside of the room where the exorcism was being performed. After these events took place, the director William Friedkin invited Father Thomas Birmingham, a priest and consultant on the film, to perform a blessing on the set. While it wasn't a formal exorcism of the set, It was a significant event that reflected the eerie atmosphere and the belief among some that the film was actually cursed. Well, that'll do it for this one for me, guys. I hope this taught you something about The Exorcist. I know I learned a lot by looking up some stuff about it, some stuff I didn't know before. I hope you experienced the same thing in this video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Check under your beds, and stay safe out there.